In this episode of Highlight Sundays, well, it's kinda a slow news week. Hello and welcome back to Highlight Sundays. It is the 27th week of 2014 and here are your highlights. So today we don't really have a lot of huge or important pieces of news, at least based on my assessments. Yes, there's a huge hoo-ha about Facebook, but I'd rather not give that particular issue any more attention than it needs to have. In my opinion, all Facebook needs to do is they just need to display everything. Simple as that. No filtering, no reorganizing of data, nothing. Just present them in chronological order and don't leave anything out. But like I said, I don't want to give this issue too much attention, so let's move on to our non-news of the week. Our first article comes from Lifehacker and is entitled, How to Short Stroke Your Hard Drive for Optimal Speed. Now, this one is a very interesting concept. The idea is you actually want to partition your hard drive into multiple little drives, and since fragmentation can only happen within one partition, the idea is when a file is actually written, even if it's extremely fragmented, well, your read head does not actually have to go all over the place to find the file. All its searching will be limited to that particular partition. And well, that's a very interesting concept. I've personally never looked at things that way before, but it certainly makes sense. Definitely a very interesting concept. If you're interested in finding out how this is done, or if you want to do it yourself, do head down to the video description, check out the Lifehacker article, you will get full instructions. So moving on, well, if you're actually interested in smartwatches like I am, well, you will probably be a little bit confused by the large number of choices we suddenly have. I mean, ever since the Pebble, everyone has been jumping on the entire smartwatch bandwagon. So, well, you're suddenly faced with a whole lot of different choices. This is where this article from Engadget comes in. It is entitled Android Wear Review, Taking Smartwatches in the Right Direction. Now this is an extremely long article and it actually compares some of the more popular, more talked about smartwatches today. In particular, it compares Android Wear to LG G Watch as well as the Samsung Gear Live. It breaks down the features and functionality of these three devices to great amounts of detail. So if you're interested in smartwatches, I highly recommend you check out this entire article. It's a bit of a long read, but it's very detailed and I think it will be a great source of information if you're actually thinking about buying a smartwatch. We're not done with mobile applications. This next article comes also from Lifehacker and is entitled Rooted versus Unrooted Android, Your Best Arguments. One of the more unique features about Android in general is the fact that you can actually unlock the bootloader and actually root your device. To make a long story short, essentially you're granting yourself additional permissions to actually tinker around with things on the device. Once you've rooted a device, you get to do very low-level operations. This includes things like directly affecting the clock rate of your processor, or actually going down and messing with your file system. So, well, these are things that you will not be able to do on an unrooted device. Therefore, rooting has its advantages, but well, it remains a fact that it's not easy to actually root a device most of the time. Not only is the process somewhat complex, there is also a possibility of doing something wrong and actually breaking a device. This of course means rendering the device basically unoperational in any way. And to be strict to the definition of breaking, it means that you've caused some amount of hardware failure that you cannot easily recover from. So of course there is the argument of whether or not you should root your device. Of course, as you would expect, the final conclusion of the entire argument is of course, well, whether or not you want to do it depends on you. But at the end of the day, it is interesting to see both sides of the story, people who want to root and people who don't. Alright, right before we wrap up today's episode, let us now take a look at our recommendation of the week. Our recommendation is dbinbox. Perhaps at one point of time or another, you might come into a situation that in a pinch you need to actually set up some kind of system where people can send files to you. Of course, I'm talking about a situation where more traditional methods like email is actually ruled out for one reason or another. This is when dbinbox can actually help. Now, I believe most of us have a Dropbox account, and if you do, you can simply set this up and, well, you can actually point people to a website All they have to do is to actually drop the file they want to send you onto the web page, and well, you will receive the file. All the files are of course stored in your Dropbox under a special folder. What I really like about this is how minimal it is. There is basically no setup required. You just approve this app for use with Dropbox, and basically everything already works as expected. Definitely a very useful tool, especially if you are looking for a quick method just to get a little task done. So check out dbinbox if you ever have the need. So well, that's pretty much all there is for this episode of Highlight Sundays. Just a quick vlog segment. Well, we've just wrapped up on Speed Model, but on Monday, we're gonna still have our new content. As you probably expect from the teaser image I posted on the official Twitter account, well, this one concerns logic components. In fact, that is actually the title of the new show. So the idea is this: while it is still the summer holidays for me, I'm gonna actually spend this time to, well, continue working on as many videos as I can, and as a result, we're actually gonna keep up the 4 videos a week setup. So all the logic components episodes will come out on Monday, and on top of that, you will still get your random Wednesday episode. So more content from me, which is always nice. Now the thing is, I will probably not be able to complete all of the logic episodes during the summer. So what's gonna happen is once I transition back into, going to school, I'll actually shift the episodes from Monday to Wednesday, and they will take over the Wednesday video for a couple of weeks. I have this all planned out. This will act as a buffer of some sort so that, well, I will be able to, properly schedule Wednesday videos throughout the entire semester. The objective of doing this, of course, is to not actually have weeks where you don't have content. I'm going to try and shoot and prepare as much as I can beforehand so that, well, you don't miss out on content. But yes, that pretty much wraps it up for this episode. Until next time, you're watching 0612 TV. Hello, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, remember that I appreciate every like, favorite and comment you give me. If you'd like to see more from me in the future, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. And for more updates outside of YouTube, don't forget to follow me on Twitter at 0612TV. Once again, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.